All right, welcome back, everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I am back, and it is time for some more AlphaStar 1 versus 1 action. Today we have got Master Z. This Master Zerg just keeps coming back for more against AlphaStar. Unfortunately, I don't think it's the same Zerg every time. Otherwise, he'd have some serious tenacity. But yeah, I mean, the AlphaStar still keeps taking on players, showing us very unique games, and I do apologize. It seems my microphone got turned up a little bit there, but that has been fixed now. And in the bottom right, we have, of course, AlphaStar. If you saw the title of this video, you know he's in it. The star of the Starcraft 2. Good old Alpha Terran. Okay, so we have got ourselves this ZVT AlphaStar once again, going to be showing us how much of a menace it can be. I really enjoyed the last couple TVZ matches that AlphaStar had, as they all involved mech, which is not something I'm used to seeing AlphaStar play. I mean, it can play odd styles sometimes, but just straight up playing mech I think was pretty darn cool. Now, if we take a look, the builds for both players are normal. It's going to be a Reaper Expand for AlphaStar most likely, as it didn't cancel its gas and then go for a CC first, unlike or a gasless Expand 3CC like it did the last match. So a little bit different already. And then, yeah, just the Zerg player just doing his own thing. Seeing as how we have got 46 gas for AlphaStar right now, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to slap that like button. Every time you do that, it does help out the channel, so just hit it. And then, yeah, let's aim for that amount of likes. And the Overlord is now coming in for the Masters player, ever so slowly, but he's getting there. Gonna be saying, hey, what are you doing, Terran guy? And he'll say, oh, a command centers, they're good. I'm not getting cheesed. That's what goes through every Zerg's heart. Except it's like that panic meme, like normal heart rate, then just panic when there's no actual command center for the Zerg. Now we take a look. The Reaper comes in for AlphaStar. Gonna be setting its sights on this drone. The drone actually gets vicious, starts turning its attention towards the Reaper, hides into the extractor. So turning and fighting. That drone is not a coward. The Reaper for AlphaStar could be in a little bit of trouble. It's kind of trapped. AlphaStar is gonna try and save it, but we could be seeing a dead Reaper. Queen is about to pop out. The Reaper, is gonna go down. Alpha Derp losing the Reaper. Of course, the Masters player playing so hard in order to try and kill that Reaper, and they floated around 500 minerals, but it's all good because they're throwing up a Roach Warren. I love a Zerg who does this kind of play. He basically said, oh, the Scouting Reaper is gone. You don't know what I'm going to be going for. And so this Zerg player just says, right, you're going to die, son. You tried to kill my drone with a Reaper? No, it is time for some vengeance. So AlphaStar is unaware of what's going to be coming its way. It has no scouting right now, so it's just stuck back at home. And there's going to be roaches on the way. Now, the starport is done, but there's no Banshee on the way yet for AlphaStar. 5 roaches are now churning out for the Masters player, and there's also speed done too, so he'll be able to make a round of roaches and then turn the aggression onto AlphaStar. I do like this push. It's always up in the air whether the Terran will be able to hold it, but for now, AlphaStar doesn't really know what's coming its way. It sees these Lings moving out on the map. The Lings going off creep is a little bit odd. They're trying to pursue those Hellions. AlphaStar does kill those Lings off, but now we see roaches are going to start moving across the map. These cool looking roaches. What skin is that? Man, it is a gnarly roach skin. Those roaches have seen some stuff. Yeah, the roach is going to start crossing the map towards AlphaStar's base. AlphaStar was planning on going for Hellions and a drop with those Marines, a bit of a Hellbat attack, minus the actual Hellbats, but this is bad news for AlphaStar, throwing up a third command center. We see the roaches are coming on in. I think SCVs may need to be pulled. It's doing a good job microing the Hellions so far, getting some good shots off on the roaches, but of course Hellions are only so effective against roaches, and there's more crossing the map. I imagine we should be seeing a Speedling flood to follow this up from the Zerg player, but for now, he's just focusing on microing the units that he has. He's got to be careful with that roach. It's going to eat a Widowmine shot, so that is one dead roach. The mine will get cleaned up. AlphaStar is under pressure at its natural, but It is about to get out a Liberator, which will help. Of course, Ravagers can deal with a Liberator, but the Roaches and the Masters player are really kind of dilly-dallying here. Eating that Widow Mine shot's quite painful, not singling those out. The third command center has been canceled, and the orbital command is lifted off the natural, but this is still worse than I feel it could be for the Masters player. I'm not getting a ton of confidence from this guy, but he chose a very good build in the first place, so we're going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Oh, tongue-tied. But then we see Prosabile goes down, hits the Liberator, so well done from him there. AlphaStar is coming down the ramp, and I don't think that was the right decision, AlphaStar. It needed to hold the top of its ramp. The Zerg is now just going to go up that ramp, eating Widow Mines, eating Hellion shots, but it doesn't matter. The Roaches and the Ravagers is too strong. Ling reinforcements are coming in. The wall was open. In comes the Roaches and Ravagers, and it looks like AlphaStar is actually going to get cheesed out for the first time in a while, I think. The Masters player just shutting down the AI. And really just a build order win. So well done by him choosing this build. He beat AlphaStar. Nicely done. Not many people get to say they've done it. I do like the choice. The tank pops out, but that ain't gonna be it. SCVs are now entering the fray, but they're just not gonna cut it, as all the SCVs are gonna die. Looks like that'll be it. AlphaStar loses game number 1. Alright, so here we are into the next game, and we've got one of these mystery boys here. It's an unranked Protoss gonna be trying to take down Alpha T. So a lot of Alpha T lately. Playing all the races, though, or playing against all the races. And yeah, we'll just take a look, see how well AlphaStar is gonna do against this mystery Protoss. We have no idea how he's gonna play. Usually we can predict the level of derp based on the rank, but when there's no rank, you never know. And we've had unranked players who are really good, some who necessarily weren't. And it can actually be a bit of a guessing game. Like, try and guess the rank for this unranked player. I think a really good indicator is how many minerals they float and the build order choices that they do. So far, it is just a normal gateway expand for this guy. Throwing the gateway up in an interesting spot, not going for one of those walls. But, I mean, that's something that's trivial. We see the probe comes in. It's going to set its sight on this SCV. If we pull up the APM, the Masters player, or the unranked player, I don't know why I said Masters, is cruising at 240 APM, which is quite a high average. Now, of course, APM isn't everything. I know friends in Gold League who have more APM than I do. So it really isn't any supreme indicator. Looks like the probe is being a bit of a jerk, actually denying AlphaStar's barracks a little bit, then comes back in. So yeah, I mean, the unranked player, I get the feeling, is probably around Masters League, if I had to say so far. A Cyber Core's on the way. The Nexus is going to be getting thrown on up. And then the probe's just running around, being a jerk. Assuming the probe gets out on time, then I will say with confidence, yeah, this guy's probably a Masters Protoss player. There's a chance it could be like a pro or someone unranked, though. Who knows? Okay. Cybercore on the way. There's that extra gas going to be getting tossed up. The gas before the pylon, interestingly enough. I'm actually just looking at this for my own benefit to try and improve my own Protoss play. Other pylon does finish up. Where was that other pylon? He already built it. That's the explanation. Other pylon right next to the Nexus at the natural. Stalker being chrono boosted out. The Reaper will cross the map for AlphaStar. Gonna be heading towards this guy's base. Stalker will pop out right in time, though. This was a Cybercore before expansion, so it does make it so that the Stalker is out in a very, very punctual time. All the while, AlphaStar going for the CC on the high ground, getting up the factory, the reactor. Nothing too major going on. I don't think the CC on the high ground is that big of a deal, because Terran's naturals can get pressured quite a bit anyway. I would like to see AlphaStar go for a bunker on the low ground, though, just to be safe. Every Terran should always open up with a bunker, in my opinion. And it is becoming more and more prevalent to be using bunkers for that reason. Okay, Robo on the way. Starport on the way, so Protoss player isn't showing any sure signs of aggression. Oh, the Reaper dies. That was a bit of a derp from AlphaStar, getting the Reaper to low HP, then trying to jump up into the main base, but the Stalker was clearly there, and a Sentry does beat a Reaper in a 1v1. I'm sure all Protoss players say thank goodness for that, otherwise Sentries would be so useless, I think. Alright, Observer is on the way. There is a Cyclone, Marines being made for AlphaStar, so a very normal opening. Looks like a Tech Lab is building on the starport. The Protoss player will scout that out. But then again, they've already got a Robo. They've got the third base on the way. A very respectful opening. Or a little bit greedy, maybe, perhaps. Just based on the fact that there isn't any extra gateways going up yet. So quite a greedy play from the Protoss player. Going to be throwing up an extra gateway, or should be. An extra gateway. Probably a Twilight Council up next. Builds the gate, cancels it. Didn't like its placement, apparently. But yeah, the Protoss player, from what he scouted, should be more than enough to identify that it's going to be a Banshee incoming. There's also a Observer crossing the map, so in theory, this Protoss player knows a Banshee is coming. It's just a matter of dealing with it. He's already got a shield battery in his main mineral line, or in his natural mineral line. He just needs one in his main, then just to position his units properly, and I think that is such a good decision against AlphaStar to always build cannons or shield batteries in your mineral lines. The Observer comes in, it just gets the confirmation on the Banshee. And AlphaStar, once again, is doing that mainly Marine tank Banshee play. Not rushing into Stim, not rushing into, say, Medivacs or anything like that. And just a normal game from here. Third base is up for the Protoss player. The unranked Protoss, whose rank is still a bit of a mystery. From the way he's positioning his units, I wouldn't say he's like super high level, but I'd say this guy's gotta be Masters. Maybe you guys have a better guess than I do. I mean, he's not floating too much energy on his Nexus, but you always do want to be Chrono boosting. Observer comes back home. There isn't anything to defend at the third base just yet, but the Banshee's taken a bit of a different path. Now it's going to be heading towards the third, so this Protoss player isn't necessarily covering his bases to an extreme degree. I like his choices, though. Getting shield batteries just in every base. Against single Banshees, it is so good to have shield batteries. In comes the Banshee. There are the Stalkers there. That's enough to send those guys packing. Now there's Stalkers warping in at the third base, so quite a solid opening from the unranked Protoss player. AlphaStar hasn't got any damage done yet, which is more than we can say for most matches that AlphaStar plays PvT. There's the derpy AlphaStar wall we're seeing once again. Looks like these probes are under fire, but look how long it takes that Banshee to kill one of the probes when there's a shield battery present. Really saving the Protoss player a lot of grief. There's 5 gateways on the way, a forge coming. He's not having to run his probes around, reposition his Stalkers, deal with the nightmare, because he's doing a very good job leaving his Stalkers in the right place in the first place, and then just having Observers, having shield batteries. He's doing a great job, I'll say. Charge just finished up for the unranked player. Now going into Blink and Double Forge, so it's going to be a very heavy gateway style, which I can really get behind. If we take a look, the unranked player has been playing a mainly gasless style, now just getting up his third gas, so this allows the Protoss player to saturate up very quickly, get all their tech on the way very quick. Now we see there is Double Forge on the way, or Double Forge up, but no Chrono Boost has been dumped into any upgrades just yet. I would like to see that for the Protoss player. Banshee's starting to get a little bit of damage done, but overall, no, it's a very good game from the unranked player. Templar Archives is on the way, which I think is an amazing choice if you're going to have Psystorm against AlphaStar, because it doesn't tend to do the best job splitting most of the time. That being said, the tanks can be a little bit scary. I don't mind the way this Protoss player is played out. AlphaStar is getting up a third base, getting up extra production, building up a lot of siege tanks, but yeah, I really enjoy the way that this Protoss player is playing, as sometimes it just looks hopeless, you know? It just looks super duper hopeless for the Protoss player. I must say, the Protoss player powering up is going up to 12 gateways, which is an insane amount. It's definitely not the standard 8, which we usually see, so he's just going hard on the gateway units off 3 bases. Looks like one of these Banshees gets caught by the Stalkers as well. The 4th base also gets fired up, so I really like this. Not neglecting that. I would like to see the Protoss player start up both of his upgrades, so that's one of my gripes. He's got a ton of energy on his Nexus. I want to see that being dumped into these forges non-stop to have very, very good upgrades on these gateway units. So I'd like to see 1-1 be started up. For now, it's just +1 attack, though. We'll see if that gets remedied or not. And for now, he is just investing pretty much all of his resources into units, just being very efficient at turning minerals and gas into a big, big Protoss army with a ton of zealots and such. Now, 3 Banshees are moving towards the main base. There is a cannon there. There's a cannon at the 3rd, so they aren't going to get any super easy pickings. They will find a pylon, and oh my gosh, I just realized there's a big engagement going off on the front, but there's a big Artosis pylon in the unranked player's base. AlphaStar is kiting back with its Marines quite well. Siege tank's going to be shooting on the Zealots. Not too much friendly fire going down just yet. Tanks are getting picked off, but all of a sudden the Zealot buffer is gone for the unranked player. He's not given up just yet, but with all these tanks, I think he's just got to abandon the assault. He's not given up. He's not quitting, though. Going forward with more charge lots. The tanks dealing so much friendly fire on AlphaStar's own SCVs, but in the end, AlphaStar does hold that off. If this pylon gets unpowered here, it will be disastrous for the unranked player. We see AlphaStar using those Banshees, still giving more grief. The Banshees for AlphaStar always find some damage, no matter what. Probes are transferring to the 4th base, but that was a very, very good engagement for AlphaStar. The unranked player really overcommitted. The Banshees are still giving him grief. I mean, he's not in a terrible spot to clean these up, but he really, really threw away too much when it comes to that. If the Stalkers find another Banshee, they may be able to blink after it. They're definitely looking for those other Banshees, trying to shut those down. Stalker finds one. The unranked player has got to get his economy back on track. He lost a few probes. Not too many, though, but he should have been dumping Chrono Boost into his Nexus the whole time this was going on. There's no reason really to stop making probes. Also, his +1 armor is just about to finish. He probably could have had that done around the time of that fight, but he didn't. And he's still got a lot of Chrono Boost, so I'd like to see that all getting used. Oh, we see the Banshee coming towards the 3rd base, or the 4th base, pardon me. There's a cannon, but it's not done in time. The Banshee can kill probes pretty quick when there's no cannon to help out. There are 2 observers, but none of them are in position to help deal with this Banshee. Now it will get cleaned on up. I said that preemptively. The Banshee is not getting cleaned on up yet. AlphaStar still making Banshees, just showing us that it can harass non-stop. Even someone who made cannons and shield batteries, they're still getting a lot of grief caused by these Banshees. The Protoss player is really starting to crumple. He had quite a solid opening, but in the end, AlphaStar just showing us how good it is. Stalker will clean up this Banshee. Yes. One of them's still trucking. We'll get cleaned up, though, but now we see AlphaStar starting to come across the map. Psystorm was researched for the unranked player. He's got a few High Templar. Okay, so he does have some Psystorm, which will help him out if AlphaStar has a big derp. But with all these siege tanks, as long as AlphaStar plays this slowly, I think the AI will be just fine. These charge lots are moving out on the map, but they do not want to run into all those siege tanks. Don't do it, buddy. Don't do it. Just fight the Marines. AlphaStar charges on in. Is there a Psystorm yet? No, there isn't. We just need to see 1 or 2 good Psystorms. Where are they? Where's the Storm guy? No Storm yet. There's 1 Storm hitting the bio. Keep in mind the bio is just a portion of AlphaStar's army, as AlphaStar has built up an absurd tank count once again, up to 13 already. The Protoss player still just using 1 of his forges. Not been managing his economy too well. So I was thinking maybe like mid to high masters at first, but now I think he's probably like lowish masters, if I had to say so. Now all these Marines will get cleaned up by these charge lots, so that's good for him. But at the same time, there's just so many tanks for AlphaStar. I'm not sure what the Protoss player can do, aside from like base trade or whatever. Maybe try and like get some Psystorm on top of them or pounce on them when they're unsieged. We'll see how well AlphaStar will do with its move out. Oh man, he's going for it. Don't go into the siege tanks. He did it. He ate a lot of damage, losing a ton of units. Banshee at the 3rd base, giving more grief to the unranked player. And as we see, the unranked player's like macro train just stopped. He didn't start up a 5th base when he should have had it going a long time ago. I mean, he stopped at a lower probe count. Okay. We see the Banshee. Still flying towards the natural. AlphaStar never stops with these things. The Protoss player is building up on supplies, so I mean, there's always a chance for a big army fight, but if he runs into all these tanks, he will die. That'll be it. AlphaStar is moving out with just a handful of Marines once again. They could just get caught up by these Zealots, though. Zealots starting to hit him. But AlphaStar is now on more bases than the Protoss player. The Protoss player has money to throw up like 2 or 3 Nexus, but hasn't, and instead is just going to go for a big attack. Oh my god, the humanity. Why would he do it? Why'd you do it, Billy? Why'd you do it? His entire army just melts charging into mass siege tank fire, and that is not what we wanted to see. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed that massacre, hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, join the Discord if you haven't already, and then, of course, follow me on Twitter. This has been LaughNgamez. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.